Yeah, buddy! Plus 100% pump. I told you, the guy in the Pikachu hat might be right for once. Pump it, baby. You're going to wake up every day and you're going to hear 140 content creators and 68 streamers tell you about their bags. So I'm going to ask you nicely. Do you want to play crypto on easy mode or hard mode? I know you like it hard. It's a family-friendly show. But for once, you were going to listen to what I have to say. If so many people could be wrong about us never going back to day one sack already, I just want you to imagine how wrong they can be about the bull market price performance of the PulseChain ecosystem. There's probably a lot of things that they're wrong about. Sure, they were right when the red candles came down. But eventually, everyone realizes bears are smelly and they poop in the woods. Now today, we're going to speak about something that's going to tickle your fancy, friends. You see, firstly though, I'm going to pump it. We're not done. We're not done. We're just getting started, okay? As I've been saying for 1 year, if you want PulseChain to get to 100 billion market cap and beyond, we have to hope that Richard Hart is himself most of the top 100 sacrifice wallets. What is the current market cap of Pulse? It is 1.5 billion. You can go to gopulse.com. I love the website. I love the logos. I love the colors. Gopulse.com. If you exclude the origin address, you get to see this, okay? Now, of course, yes, the origin address can go to zero, of course. But the people saying that the origin address, yes, you can send everything to zero. They also said the Department of Jelly Beans was going to take down Richie Hart, and that we would never get a pump, and that nobody would ever buy the bags, and that the PulseChain sacrifice wallet would never be used. They also said all those things, and they were wrong. So maybe they're going to be wrong about what comes next. Now, Pulse is 1.5 billion market cap. If you want it to go a 50x, just Pulse, not the whole ecosystem, just Pulse, the layer one chain, a 50x gets it to 75 billion. That's actually within the realms of where Doge, ADA, BNB, and XRP topped out valuation-wise in 2021. It is within the realm. However, we've got to add up all the coins. But if you want us to go beyond that, if you want to dream of us going beyond that, you've got to ask yourself this question. Firstly, is your posture straight enough? Secondly, why are you listening to a guy in a Pikachu hat? And thirdly, how many coins does Richard own? I know you can't control them. Many of the esteemed individuals in the PulseChain community will say, don't even worry about it. You can't control it. And I will say that is 100% true. But I want you to know these are the things you got to think about before you finally let go of buying. You don't know how much Richard owns. You'll never know. But if he owns a lot, some people out there think it's bad. I'll tell you they're very wrong. It's just like Satoshi. Wouldn't you love for me to tell you secret information one day that Satoshi doesn't own 1 million Bitcoin, that he actually owns 5 million? Wouldn't that make you more bullish on Bitcoin, knowing it's more scarce than what the market thinks? Well, it's the same case here, friends. No one knows how much Richard owns. People only think he owns the origin address coins. Let them think that. Good. They're the people who said we'll go on a zero. Okay? They're soy boy virgin cucks. They got pencil necks. Their slippers are tarnished, withered away, dusty. Ours are fluffy. Fluffy, I tell ya, fluffy. And this does change the valuation of expectations. Because, in a nutshell, I just showed you that it is 1.5 billion valuation. Wouldn't it be nice if I told you Richard owns 20% of the coins? Wouldn't it be nice? Because then you could say to me, oh, golly gee, that means its real market cap circulating isn't 1.5 billion. It's actually 1.2. Sweet. Let's take it a step further. What if I told you he owns half of the coins? That means you're looking at a coin, PulseChain PLS, not financial advice. Instead of 1.5 billion, it's down to 750 million. Okay, do you see how this can change things drastically? What if I told you as your friend with straight posture, once again, and pointy elbows, what if I told you he owns 2/3 of the coins? What if instead of 1.5 billion valuation, the real number's 500 million? That means to get to where Cardano, XRP, BNB, and Doge topped out, theoretically, because you might have an idea of the number, if you knew this number, it's not what everyone thinks. It's not, for example, a 50x. It could be a 200x to get there, okay? These are the numbers we'll never know. It's outside of your control. But I want you to just protect yourself and go, okay, Richard could own 0% or he could own 66%. I want to believe he owns 66% because that means we're going to pump higher than the moon. We're going past Venus, past Uranus, doing the loop around, and we're going again. But if he owns 10% of the coins, the valuation is pretty on par. You can see how you can't control any of that, but you should think about it. You go, well, what if you only own 10% of the coins? Well, what do? Strategy. You have to protect yourself. You go, okay, well, how do I protect myself? All right, this is the last chance. Running out of time. Do I want to scoop up something in the ecosystem? Now, it's up to you, friends, what you want to do. I do 90% call, 10% lottery. Do you want to buy more Pulse, PulseX, Hex, right? Is there any excess savings you can put in somewhere? It's up to you. We're getting that first thrust. This first thrust, friends, I know you like thrusting. It's a very family-friendly show. I've seen this before. Everyone knows I like Chainlink. I remember, like it was yesterday, the first thrust Chainlink had to $8. Let's zoom in. You see this? You're going to zoom in right here. It's actually right here. You see these candles? This $8 zone flipped the super trend buy. And I was like, oh, wow, golly gee, you've actually gone outside the range and closed up here. And then you had 1, 2, and then on the third green weekly candle, it was actually the third candle, by the end of it, it had gone up, okay? So you had like 2 to 3 weeks left. So we have not flipped it yet. I mean, we're basically almost there. If we go to PLS itself, I mean, it's really, really, really close, right, up here, okay? So if we look actually on a weekly, let's just see, yeah, you can see we're very close. So I remember this launch pad, basically, once we finally get there, you really do run out of time. And it does remind me of that. So, you know, that's it. That's it. Time's running out. Of course, now begs the question, it can't just go 50x by itself because people need to buy at 50x. They need to buy at 50x thinking it's going to 1000x. That's how markets work. I've come to understand over my years here that it doesn't really matter. People will invent any narrative if the candles are green to the upside. And then they will invent any narrative when the candles are red to the downside. Any narrative, it doesn't matter. We will attach anything. Okay, I've seen the most baloney statements and stories like nothing. Okay, we've seen people like someone says a word, okay, let's buy this. Someone might do this. Someone did a like. We've seen the most ridiculous stuff. Then we just know, oh, it doesn't really matter. The truth is, I mean, you've heard it before. Price moves first, narrative follows after. Okay, price is the most important thing. That will move first. So it really does make you think, right? If you go and check out other chains, and I've made messages and videos on this, right? If you go to Cardano, rank 9, it's actually 19 billion market cap now. So PulseChain's still more than 10x undervalued. It's like 12x undervalued now. Now, why do I use Cardano? It's because it's spiritually the same as PulseChain. It's just that Charles doesn't twerk, okay? Charles is a non-twerker. But Charles is also into the babes as well. I don't know if you guys know, friends. Just this is actually like not joking or anything. It's actually true. Charles cucked Chico Crypto. And yes, not actual joke. He actually did. So Chico Crypto, there was a story. There's a girl named Crypto finally. And basically, Chico was in love with her. And what ended up happening was there's a picture of her with Charles. And Chico really liked her. Now, I'm going to show you the picture, right? So if you type in like Crypto finally, Charles, it's actually right here. See this? Now, I saw this picture. It was funny. I'm like, you know, by the way, when I saw this picture in like 2020, I was like, yeah, I've got to put a bullet in Cardano. I don't know why. I just saw it. I was like, it looks like he knows this thing's going to win. I don't know why. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I still don't know. I'm still the peanut brain. I was like, this doesn't look like a guy where everything's going to zero. Now, what happened was Chico started snapping. And I think crypto finally, she started posting messages that he was saying. And I think it was like, it got like a, I don't know if it got abusive or it got just very, very like, it was like a real heartbreak, okay, to see that. And I know it's actually true, right? So when I tell you that, and then concurrently I tell you that Chico Crypto challenged Charles to a boxing match and also publicly said to him, Cardano is a bigger Ponzi than BitConnect, and it's never going to release smart contracts, and it's vaporware chain. You can see all of these things happening, friends, and you see this drama. This drama all happened when Cardano had 10,000 daily active users back in 2020. Do you want to know how many daily active users PulseChain has today? I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to show you. You can go to apphex.win, and if you go down here, daily active wallets, you go to the far right, it is literally $10,000 to $12,000. Okay, so this is absolutely what a weird coincidence. Richard likes the babes. Charles likes the babes. Cardano community, cult, right? The Ethereum people always say, you're a scam. You don't work. You're a scam. It's the same thing they say about PulseChain. We are one cycle behind them, basically. We're actually 2 cycles behind them, but you get the point, right? We're basically almost kind of one cycle. Cardano had 12,000 daily active users in 2020, and now 4 years later, PulseChain has 10,000 to 12,000 daily active users. It's fascinating. Cardano now has 50,000 daily active users. So it's if we got 5x on our user base to match Cardano, Metcalfe's law says you go 25x, right? So we're just basically showing you it's very strange. It's the same numbers, okay? I also know, for example, I think Mr. Brandon, Mr. Rags, something I pointed out, I think Sammy Chica as well, shout out to Sammy. I don't know if it was you guys, but I remember a few of you from the Hex and PulseChain community, you guys have owned Cardano as well. And I found it fascinating. See, no one, it's not like everybody like, you know, went into a house party and started talking about Cardano or anything. It's just, I'm watching everyone and I'm like, that's interesting. In like a random 3-hour stream here, Brandon will talk about Cardano community. Sammy will talk about it in like a 3-hour stream here, talk about it in the middle of it. Just, and it's not common. It's just like once. I don't know why, I just remember. And I just remember thinking, interesting. The same people who were drawn to Richard were drawn to Chuck. Okay. So that is something that I've just noticed. And wouldn't it be funny if they track the same? Now, here's what you're going to ask me. You're going to say, I want to see you naked. I'm going to say, sorry, my pants are staying on, friends. We are nowhere near euphoria. Okay. There are so many jelly beans in that jar. We're a long way away from that. But Cardano peaked at 100 billion valuation in 2021. That was the top. If PulseChain peaks at that, PLS will do, if you do 100 divided by 1.5, it's a 66x from here. But once again, because we don't know, friends, because I don't know, that's just PLS. This is one thing I don't know in the future. Is the community going to grow such that we get a separate makeup of Pulse, PulseX, and Hex participants? Or are people going to come in with a singular allocation? We don't know. For example, are people going to say, oh, I want to buy 3 of your coins. I want to put 10 grand in each. Are they going to do that? Or are they going to say, hey, I want to come buy into your ecosystem. I've only got 10 grand. Let me split it into Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. We don't know. You can only guess. Now, obviously, if I was to guess, I kind of think it's the same person. But I hope I'm wrong, okay? But remember, I balanced this out at the beginning of this video with bullish hopium saying, hey, what if Richard owns 2/3 of the coins? If Richard owns 2/3 of the coins, which I hope he does, okay, and there's a lot of big top 100 SAC addresses that suspiciously do nothing, okay? If he does, then when the official non-origin address circulating number says 300 billion, it actually is 100 billion, right? They actually are the same thing. Now, you might be wondering, hey, that's a lot of guesswork and stuff. Well, let me tell you something, friends. We are looking for the top 0.01% edge, the edge that no one else has. This is the stuff we got to do because this is our home run, right? Were you allowed in the Monad ICO? No. Were you allowed in Molestia TIA ICO? No. Were you allowed in Craptos APT ICO? No. What about PUI SUI right? SUI stands for soy under the influence. Were you allowed in those ICOs? No, you weren't. I wasn't either. Were you allowed in Arbitrum ICO? No. The Ethereum insiders are on side 950x. Pantera Capital is on side 158x. They got into the Luna ICO. They dumped the top. They told retail to go buy the top of their Luna bags back in 2022 as everything was collapsing. Okay? No, you and I were outsiders. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we can't play in that world because they're trading coins. Okay? Trading coins. You throw it around on leverage. All right? You get in your bikini. You put your lipstick on, but you're done by the end of the night. That's it. Okay? You can't hold them forever. They're not wifey coins, friends. Okay? We might be in a wifey coin. Now, the good thing with the wifey coin is you can go all in. You can buy a house. You can get multiple couches. She's going to be around tomorrow. You know what I mean? They're gonna stick there. You can buy shampoo for her. You can't do that with these trade coins. That's why we are looking for that top 0.01% edge. I promise you one thing. You go watch any long interview of Warren Buffett. Wazza always says, you just need to get one thing right, guys. Just one in your whole life. You don't need to bink it 9 times, 10 times. You don't. You just need to get one home run. Now, you never know if it is, but I'm just telling you, what's a home run, friends? You identify a good opportunity, but then you develop the conviction. You sharpen your tool. Family-friendly show, friends. Sharpen your tool, and you are able to identify, oh my gosh, while everybody else thinks this might be worth an even portfolio split, I have confidence with my research that I can increase my probability of success in this one. I can concentrate my bets. In a nutshell, if you got 20 grand, this isn't worth 1 grand. It's worth more like 14. Okay, that's what I'm basically trying to get at. So if PulseChain ecosystem has to add up all the coins, we might be looking at a different valuation top from here, okay? Because the total valuation is 1.5 billion for Pulse. If you add up the rest, it might be like 5 billion, okay? That's completely different. So you might have to divide it by 3, but we don't know. That's why, yes, it's fun. We love it. We love the green candles and stuff, but look at your portfolio and you just got to make sure, okay? That's what I tell you. Yes, I want everything to go way higher. What if there's only a 15x left? What if there's only a 20? I don't know, okay? I don't know. If that's okay for you, good. You've done a good job. That's why I'm literally, friends, in literally the bottom of the bear market, I was just saying, look, I want these things to go 100x. However, what if they go 30? What if they go 30? Okay, you can't go back in time to add to your position. Aren't you glad you got a friend like me wearing a Pikachu hat who's told you exactly what we needed to hear in 2021 at the top? Why didn't you sell your Bitcoin? Because it's at 60K and I need it to go 180K. What if you could go back in time and just buy 3 times more quantity of Bitcoin? Okay, so now you're playing the game. You're reverse engineering it. Guess what? No one else has this figured out. Because I speak to everybody. Okay, everybody's still like, oh, sorry, Lana. Wow, Mike Novogratz, he's definitely not going to dump on me. That's the game they're playing, friends. We do it the easy way. They're going to learn the hard way. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, or tell mom and dad they're going to do it the easy way too. Catch you soon.